something before we go to this election? If we could, after we, I guess, do the protocol of opening up this portion of the election.
Mr. Chairman, we have a quorum. Let's go.
We have a quorum, we get ready to roll right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I have it here. I'm sorry. Okay.
Excuse me, can we just do this one portion before you come in?
Hopefully we're supposed to.
Oh, we're not supposed to be there? This is the, I know, because I would like to. Okay.
In this public session?
I just wanted us to deal with this before we bring the administration.
It's our public session, no?
No, this is the election for the board.
And it's a public meeting though, the election, the annual meeting is a public
Okay,
meeting.
we're going to have the compliance with the New Jersey Public Meeting Law.
By statute, it's a public meeting.
Oh, here we go. Okay. Order. It's been noted in the book of minutes that the required 48-hour notice was mailed to the office of the Times, Trentonian, and to the clerk of the city of Trenton, as well as posted in the main entrance of the authority 875 New Willow Street in accordance with the New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law. Okay. Roll call.
Commissioner Gray.
Mr. Sager, we're here?
Yes.
Yes.
Commissioner Green.
Here.
Commissioner Green.
Yes.
Commissioner Raines.
Yes.
Commissioner Weldon.
Yes.
Chairman Gentry.
Yes. What you looking for?
Okay.
Now we're going to have nominations and elections of a chairperson.
But I'd like to say something before we go into it, please. For the skills of commissioner, it states in here that the chair and the vice chair, especially the chair, is a rotating position. And it is supposed to, we're all supposed to be on the board. Everyone on the board is supposed to have an opportunity to be chair. So, and the chair is not supposed to have no more than 2 terms. But Gentry, Commissioner Gentry, has been chaired. How many times, Mr. Gentry? 4 times?
Really? I didn't know that.
How many times have you been chaired since you've been on the board?
What did your research say?
Anyway, he doesn't qualify to be nominated this round, this time. And Mr. John Raines, he has been chaired as well. The next person that should be elected or nominated or considered first before either one of them, okay, would be Darlene Weldon Gordon. So,
For the record, the bylaws don't specify that.
but yes, the bylaws are supposed to be updated every year. That's part of this here too, is updating the bylaws. That's supposed to be written into the meeting. Excuse me, stop talking. I didn't ask you to
I am not
talk.
going to stop talking.
I didn't ask you, no, because you're
Because
not
I-
an elected person.
And I actually am the person who actually has to help run the meeting.
No, you don't help run the meeting. We don't have to have an attorney here.
Well, I am here.
Legally, we do not have to have an
Well, I
attorney
am
here.
here, and that's my role. And what I'm telling you is the bylaws don't
No, you're not telling me.
specify that it has to be rotated.
That's not statute.
Okay, let's move along. Let's do
Excuse me, Miss Darlene Weldon Gordon, would you like to be nominated for chair?
First of all, you're not the chair of this meeting.
You're not-
You have
you
to-
don't
you
chair
have
the
to-
meeting.
I
That's
have
not
to
your
take
role.
the chair. It has to be somebody who's not a commissioner to take
Exactly.
that process.
Okay,
So
go
you're actually
ahead.
out of order.
Exactly.
Okay.
And those
All
are
right.
the Robert Rules of Order, Commissioner Durant.
Oh, really? You know what you want to know?
So
Okay.
at this
I know him very well.
at this time, I'll Commissioner Weldon.
Clifton Anderson's on the phone. We're nominating
Chairman
Darlene
Gentry.
Weldon Gordon for chairman.
Yes.
Chairman Gentry.
Yes.
What is your vote? He said Darlene. Cliff just said Darlene.
Change yours.
Okay.
All right, she got it, Cliff. Thank you.
Congratulations, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Point of order, question for the board attorney.
Yes, sir.
He needs some advice. If a commissioner is calling in, shouldn't he let the secretary know?
He
They call
did
the
let the secretary know.
Did he?
He said he wasn't gonna make it. He said he may call into my number or, but the last I talked to him before the meeting, he said he was in the hospital, he wasn't.
I'm just asking.
Now, so for that purpose, is he available now? Is he on
No.
now?
I just took him off. Do you want me
Okay,
to call
no,
him
no,
back?
I just, if he's available, that's up to him to call in. So,
Can the minutes reflect that, please?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
and so you will now take nominations for vice chair.
Yeah, he turns the meeting back over to you.
You're in charge.
At this time, can we have a motion for vice chair?
I move that Gary Gentry, with his vast experience, be the vice chair.
I second it. Roll call?
Commissioner Guerrero,
No.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Raines,
Yes.
Commissioner Weldon,
Yeah.
Commissioner Gentry.
Yes,
Congratulations, Mr. Vice Chair.
thank you.
And it'd be appropriate to take a motion to adjourn and move, well, wait till the minutes.
I make a motion that we adjourn the reorganizational meeting for this year.
A second. Any questions? Roll call?
Commissioner Guerrero,
Yes.
Commissioner,
Excuse me, before I take commission, I would like to also vote before we close this to update the bylaws to incorporate what I mentioned in regards to the election into the bylaws.
You can do that the next meeting.
I'll write it up. How's that?
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Raines,
Yes.
Commissioner Gentry,
Yes.
Chairwoman Weldon.
11:56.
Okay.
Just 1 minute. You don't have to be in the next meeting, Carl.
Might as well, but we're gonna be here half the day anyway.
The name, please.
Oh,
Just want to say, want to say chair or what?
no, they have to say commissioner, just read.
Watch your step. I'm scared. Probably jump up, catch you every
You got one, because I didn't have a couple of things on, so you got all.
Got a question?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you've been here longer.
Didn't have like a report.
I mean, you've been here longer than I have.
I told her I shouldn't have anything, I'm gonna give it to you, I'm sure you got all that.
No, she served the term. She served the term after me, and then the one after me, 2 terms after me, and then Clifton took it over, if I'm not mistaken.
Darlene, were you chair before?
Yes. I was, one time.
Okay.
And wasn't it only 8 months?
It happened so quickly that we all feel so hostile. What's going on?
This is not the time for that, Miss Weldon. Breathe, you chair, just breathe. You know how it is. This is nothing new, so it's all good. It's all good. Just put on your leadership hat and get ready. You got a minute now. Just take some deep breaths.
And that was the paper that was here. And we're gonna do these at the end.
Yes, they would go after the other two. Where's that other four?
There is another folder on the back end.
And answers.
The last two are in another folder.
Okay.
I've got those copies.
All right, do you need these two before I have mine?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave it now. We don't have anything for, I'm sorry,
Yes.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Raines,
Here,
Commissioner Gentry,
There.
Chairwoman Weldon.
Yes.
Next for adoption of the agenda, you want to consider adopting with the 2 additional resolutions, 2345 and 2346. not approving it, we're just putting them on.
Adopt, right. Can I have a motion to adopt agenda, including resolution 2346 and 2345?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions?
Yeah, before we vote on this, I would like a few minutes for us to review them. It's not, it doesn't say 2345 as much, but just to review them, kind of digest.
Are you asking for recess to do that?
For recess,
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
to digest.
It's up to
And
the
let
chair.
them be the last ones, if you could, please.
Yeah, they would be, they would be.
They'll be the
after,
last
yeah.
ones,
Yep.
yeah.
To the end, okay?
So you question,
I just-
you want to consider recess, it's up to the chair, you want to consider recess for.
Just 5 minutes, 5, 6 minutes, it's not.
We getting set up now, Mr. Anderson. So I don't know if you guys want to speak to him or something.
Cliff?
Anderson,
Mr. Anderson, sorry.
can you hear us?
With the additions.
With the addition to,
Right.
yes.
Okay.
Roll call?
Commissioner Garrett?
The agenda?
Yes.
Just to adopt
Oh.
with the change.
Yes.
Commissioner Green?
Yes.
Commissioner Raines?
Aye.
Commissioner Gentry?
Yes.
Chairwoman Wilson?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Anderson?
Yes.
This is adoption of the agenda.
Yes.
And now we're gonna have an approval of the regular minutes
The meeting, yeah.
for the meeting held November 8th.
So moved.
Second. Any questions?
The minutes should note that Member Lopez has arrived at 12:07, so we have a full forum now, especially with Mr. Anderson.
Roll call?
In regards to the minutes, again, I have been saying this for a few years now. I thought that, well, like every other meeting, there was some information shared. It was not fully disclosed in the minutes. So if somebody was not at the meeting and they read these minutes, for instance, it said, you know, Commissioner Gregg, mentioned X, Y, and Z, and, so-and-so just responded. So there was information in the comments to a lot of the questions that was key. So again, I'm asking for a stenographer, for us to hire a stenographer that can, really capture all what was stated, questions and comments, because again, this is for us to refer back to. This is how we set precedents or set policy, is based on what is stated and reviewed in those minutes. That's the purpose of why we hear monthly. So, I'm just saying that there has to be more information, in regards to comments or answers, and more information on what questions were asked at last meeting. We had 2 presentations, one by Urban Strategies, and they elaborated on something. We're hiring them to provide services for tenants. They're going to be really invasive about the information they're gonna be receiving in regards to the tenants. And that was not disclosed in the minutes. So again, I would like the chair to really consider, hiring a stenographer. If you would like, I can put the resolution forward. But there needs to be some amendments in these minutes. Because again, it protects the board.
Any other questions? Roll call.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Garrett,
No.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez,
Yes.
Commissioner Raines,
Aye.
Commissioner Gentry,
Aye.
Chairwoman Wilson.
Yes.
We do have a couple, I like a couple of reports today. First, I would like to invite Ms. Kaya King Green up to talk about resident services activities.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I'd like to just highlight, last month we had a trip to Snipes Farm with the after-school students. We're working on getting them to do a couple of educational trips every month, and that was the beginning of that with them to the farm where they looked at how seed is developed and tasted different apples and peppers, and enjoyed themselves there. We continue to have strong partnerships with our partners with Bingo and the pantry, and definitely we enjoyed a lot of participation with Thanksgiving basket giveaways. Later on this month, we'll be celebrating our first homeowner through the Family Self-Sufficiency Program, and Kia Baker is doing an incredible job of leading that effort. Beginning of this month, December 1st, we enjoyed our second casino night. Right, we had such a good time. That was December 1st, and Christy was there. She was. What'd you do? Roulette table.
At the door.
Right. I held down the blackjack 21 table. We had a great time.
Any winners?
Winners all
I think
night.
everybody
Right,
won.
everybody won. Everybody won. So that was a good time. But at this time, I'd like to extend a special invitation to all of you as board members, and if you will, just really work to hear me out. I created a few subcommittees through our partnerships, and this initiative is to work to make the partnerships with our partnerships a little bit more strategic as it relates to the grants that we are applying for. In particular, the Jobs Plus grant, which we just heard that there was a modification, there's an extension to that window. So we won't hear if we receive that grant until March, but also the Choice Neighborhood Grant. And the point of this is to work intentionally around meeting the goals that these grants are seeking for us to deliver upon proactively. So when we receive the grants, we already have systems and things in place that address the goals that they want us to reach. And so the partners that are dedicated and already doing the work with THA, I thought that we should look at those partnerships and create subcommittees around the goals that would speak very clearly to the objectives of each of these grants. And so in that, I've created 5 subcommittees. Actually, I need to add on a 6th one, which is specific to just senior support. We need a 6th committee that just focuses on our seniors. But for right now, we have 5. And
What are those 5 numbers?
that's what I want to share with you. And I want you to really be intentional about all of you. Because if you're interested in working on one of these committees with us, then I'd love to have your participation. So the five committees, the first one is chaired by Kia, and that's the workforce entry, subcommittee. That subcommittee is working to engage residents that are no to low income. And those residents are zero, maybe they don't have any income at all. And what we're considering the low threshold is the average income of our Donnelly residents, which is 11K, right? 11K is the average Donnelly home resident income compared to the outskirts of Donnelly homes, which is about 38K. So we're looking to engage these residents, which will fit very, very nicely with Kia's family self-sufficiency program, right? Because once they come on board as participants, then that supports the goals of family self-sufficiency, working to create increased employment and expand reentry, employment, training, and placement and support. So that's the first subcommittee.
Okay, so you're gonna have a grant that you're teaching job skills for, or this is, to, like a employment type thing to find them employment based on their skill basis? I'm not really sure what, it says workforce entry. Okay, and you're saying engaged residents who don't have an income. So are you having job training, like depending on the number of people they're looking for jobs? So if you have 30 people who want to be secretaries, you're teaching them secretary skills, or you're just gonna, if they, I don't know if they have skills now, or do these people have skills that you're working with to go in the entry, or they don't have skills?
So those sorts of like details will be revealed in like the intake form. So everything that you're saying right now are details that are to
You're
be
still working-
discovered,
you're
are
working
still
on
to be
it.
discovered.
Okay, so
Yes.
this is just an idea right now.
Yes, this is an initiative
Uh-huh.
that, to help create strategic partnerships to address the goals of the grants if we receive them.
What other people, other entities in Trenton, they can hire them, is that what you're saying?
That's correct.
Okay, so you gotta figure out if you work with people with skills or no skills, and if they don't have skills, how do
There's
you
a
get
lot
them?
of work to do. That's why I'm saying,
Okay,
you know,
all right,
if you want to participate, then
okay,
come
all
forward.
right.
So that's the first subcommittee, these residents and improve their economic self-sufficiency. That's the second subcommittee. The third subcommittee is chaired by Darren Freedom Green, and it's around community empowerment. It specifically is working to engage our residents in activities that build a caring and cohesive public housing community. So it's around, really leadership development in the resident council, and also motivational support, reducing social isolation, and creating a shared purpose amongst the community.
I'm assuming this is still being worked out too.
All of this is still being worked
No, I mean, I know, but what I'm saying is this is more mental health.
Yeah.
Okay.
The fourth subcommittee is youth education, which is chaired by Tanya Grant. And there are 3 goals here: helping children to enter kindergarten ready to learn, assuring students are proficient in core academic subjects, and that students graduate from high school, college, and career ready.
K to 12.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And then the last subcommittee is also chaired by myself, which is local business partnerships. And there are currently 2 goals there. That is a subcommittee that you're interested in participating in. Okay? And that concludes.
Thank you, Ms. Green.
Good job, thank you.
Good job.
Oh, one more thing, Ms. Green. The organization Urban, what was it? Urban Strategies, how do they play?
Whatever grant we get. So if we get the Jobs Plus grant, we get the Choice Neighborhood grant, these subcommittees are working to meet the goals of what we have to answer to. So when
The
we're talking about,
specification in the grant.
yeah, so when we talk about urban
Benchmark.
strategies, they are the people lead. And so under their objective as the people lead, because there's three components, it's the people, it's the neighborhood, it's the housing. So under the people lead, they need to, and I can provide this, chart that I created too for you, so you can kind of understand the breakdown of each of the grants. But here is what you're thinking about as far as urban strategies having to address particular objectives of a grant.
Right,
And that's
right.
my subcommittees are working to do that as well.
Right, so my question was, how do we merge them into supporting those benchmarks in the grant? I don't know, if you can send us with the Job Plus grant, I can assist you with that. You know, assist you with the systems or the areas that you have to meet in the grant, cover in the grant, because that's what I'm saying. It sounds like it's being, not that it's you're presenting the same thing urban strategies, which is a good thing. So what I'm saying to you is, let's see how we can use what they're doing and merge them into the various subcommittees.
Yes, that's
That's
going to be the
where I was
natural
going.
progression, yes.
That's where I was going.
That's what's going to happen. You're
Right,
correct.
because it's the same thing, we're paying them to do exactly what you're doing. They
Well-
seem like they have, not something similar in kind, but what I'm saying to you is this will probably help.
That's not accurate.
Okay, all right, if it's not accurate, okay.
Not paying them to do what she doing.
That's for choice.
No, that's not what I meant.
Well,
What I'm saying is the whole objective is to meet some of these goals in what they presented in the presentation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Can I just add, urban strategies and choices just for the Donnelly
I know,
neighborhood? My efforts as Director of Resident and Community Services is for the whole
Everybody.
agency.
I agree with you,
Okay.
but you did mention Choice Neighborhood Grant.
Well, yeah.
So that's why that brought me to the urban strategies.
Okay.
I understand that you for the whole Trenton Housing Authority,
Yeah.
but when you mention the grant for the Choice Neighborhood and you list the five subcommittees, that's how I'm relating that.
Okay.
I understand what you're doing. I'm not misunderstanding you.
Okay.
Okay. Ms. Green,
Yes.
I have this paperwork for you because I have three things that I was gonna discuss with you later on about the seniors. So that, we'll talk about that later and add that for the, a committee for the senior citizens,
Thank you.
okay?
And also, Ms. Green, for the youth education portion, would urban strategy, that'll be a project where we can connect with them as well
Yes.
for schools and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay,
And we have our follow-up.
and we have a follow-up meeting,
Yeah.
yes, perfect.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good
Good
job.
idea.
Next,
Thank you.
okay?
Okay.
so resolution 2341. Mr. Ted.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Thank you guys for coming and joining us here. Before I start the resolution, I just want to mention that the team has done a great job of migrating to the new system. Yardi is our new reporting tool. As you can see, the financials, again, look a little bit different. We're still finalizing the presentation of those statements, the financials, but we are fully operational in the new system. So everything is derived from Yardi and can be communicated as such. So, approving the disbursements for the month of November 2023.
Second.
Any questions?
Oh, any questions?
I have questions, but go ahead.
Cliff has moved it, so I'll second it.
Right.
But you-
And then I said questions, and Commissioner Correct has a question.
I noticed in the check registry, there's some new, vendors that are not on the vendors list, and I just wanna ask just a couple of questions. John, there's a few security, companies, Electronic Security, Johnson Control Security. I'm not understanding, because I thought the only contract that we were dealing with was Prime. Did they change their name, or what's going on with this security situation?
Johnson Controls, and it's EES, I believe. ESS is under Johnson Controls. They handle our fire alarm system. They handle any stuff like that. And Johnson Controls handles all of our boiler operating and, you know, stuff like controls in that systems. So it ties back into like ADT. Like,
Oh,
like
okay,
that.
because I just never seen them on here before.
Yeah.
They're new, that's why I was saying, like, I've never, and Telesystem, that same thing, Telesystem?
Telesystems is our phone services.
Phone service.
Okay, and then you got, okay. With the exterminator, Mr. Garrett, did we deal with that with the tenants so they, understand regarding the whole bug issue, what we're talking about? When we spoke about that, what, a month or so ago, I think after Narrow, did you meet with them at the time?
We said we're setting up monthly meetings, I don't know, where are we with that at the moment?
Yes,
Monthly meetings. For
and we're scheduling monthly management meetings.
No, for
extermination.
board meetings.
Oh, yes,
board meetings.
Tuesdays, we have a monthly meeting with them. And we're gonna talk about what we discussed at the conference.
Okay.
Bringing them in monthly to meet with the tenants monthly.
Correct.
Okay, did we hire more maintenance, personnel? Because the last time we had issues, it was just 2 maintenance personnel, and I see, the activity has increased. So have we hired more maintenance personnel?
Since the last, we hired 2 additional.
I think there was two
or
additional
three.
people who were hired for maintenance.
Okay, so what projects is going on?
For maintenance?
Yeah, any major projects? Or it's just-
Major maintenance projects?
Yeah, maintenance projects, yeah.
Major maintenance projects.
As far as like our maintenance men are working on, like,
Yeah, I mean, outside of the reconditioning.
I would say reconditioning, but you said
The
outside of that.
elevators, we're we're doing the elevators at Jules and French, new elevator systems at Jules and French. And we're gearing up to,
But those are with outside vendors, am I correct?
yes,
yeah, so anything that we're doing right now is gearing up for our REACT inspections. Right now, we're doing stuff with securing Donnelly homes, the walk-up buildings. We're doing general maintenance for what was identified in the UPCS inspections. So we're doing work in that nature. But like a major project, no.
Okay, with what I noticed, being here, walking around the properties, the window air conditionings. So are they charged $12 for summer, or are they charged $12 a month for the whole year?
They're charged through October.
October.
After October, the air conditioning fees are no longer charged.
Okay, but they're still in the window, and what I notice is that the air conditioners have clothes stuck in there, and some of them don't even have that. You can see the air conditioner don't have any siding. Can we that's why I'm asking about the maintenance. Is there some way that, because some of the tenants have said to me they can't.
that would be basically a courtesy, a service, an additional service that we would provide to a resident to take their air conditioner in and out the window.
Right, and if we have to charge a fee, we have to charge a fee, but they should come out, because they're not paying for those air conditioners after October. And when do they start paying for the air conditioners? In June or May?
I think May.
Okay. I'll get away from that. Why do we have okay, the management fees. The management fees here that we have here, the $97,640, is that from, Rush Crossing and Turner's Point?
Which, well, I don't.
That's
so
on-
the way the so we charge, everything is charged a management fee. That's HUD's internal accounting process for project-based management. So central office basically charges a set management fee to all of the particular sites. So.
Oh, okay, so
That's
what
why
do we,
on the financials, you'll see it as they'll call it an elimination, cause it's not really an expense. It's an expense to the sites.
no, it's showing as income,
It's a revenue to central office.
right,
It's an expense to the sites.
okay.
It's offset.
But are we making anything from Turner's Point?
Yes.
What are we, because that's the thing, I don't see that, and I see this as the entity-wide
Mhm.
budget comparison. Are we going back to breaking it down for each, property, or are we just gonna just
Yeah.
do this one?
Yeah, I have it broken out by amp, it just was a lot of data that I didn't know.
You haven't figured out how to break it down?
No, I
yet?
have, we have it in that, I guess,
96
that,
It was
it's almost over 100
pages.
pages.
Yeah,
So it would have made the packet, very.
Yeah, but can we not have, we do the wide like you do here, and when you go to the properties, we don't have to have it redundant, broken down, but just sum it up into different categories?
So maybe summarize? Okay.
Yeah, like here, where it says, income from that property, just do the income, what the revenue income total. It doesn't, cause we can go back here and, back it out of here.
Okay.
So that's how I would do it, isn't that correct?
Yeah, we can provide
Okay.
that, we can provide that level of detail.
Okay, and I just wanna know what is Turner's Point and Rush Crossing, cause I know that Rush Crossing, we're not dealing with the management part with Rush Crossing, am I right?
No.
Okay, are we getting anything for Rush Crossing, just the land,
We've completed this year, I believe, right? Was it this year or last year, we completed the last deferred developer fee payment?
This year.
This year. That was the last deferred developer fee payment, so altogether, we made $977,000 in
Oh,
in
okay.
deferred developer fee.
That's beautiful.
And this year, I think we got 46,000, something like that, right off of cash flow. So now going forward, at the end of the year, we get a percentage of cash flow for the property.
Beautiful. That's gonna, we'll be able to see that in the, okay. Resident council, I think, I'm winding it down. Resident council, I don't see, now, there is a billing, and how do we work that out? Cause the last time we discussed the resident council boards, for each property, there's a fee that comes into for them to do their part. So how has that been worked out? And have they been getting, how have we been managing it for them to be able to, either submit a invoice for expenditures, or how we're gonna work with them managing those expenditures? Because from my understanding, there was an issue some years back about, them managing it with their own
Well,
bank account.
when I came in years ago, in an effort to free the resident council, so to speak.
Freedom?
Free them to do their own without having to submit everything to the housing authority.
Okay.
We calculated that and we gave them a lump sum.
Budget.
Unfortunately, one of the persons took the money and absconded with the money, so then we went back to, right now, we have basically what we do is we do a MOU, we do a funding agreement, and we have to do the appropriate election process. It's done through Kaya's office with Tanya. They do an election, they do the appropriate election process, they have the appropriate bylaws, and then we enter into an MOU with them that says, this is our role, this is how we work together, and then there's an additional document that's a funding agreement that lays out how much they receive for the year. Now, in terms of implementing that, how that procedure is going, actually, I'd like to talk with Kaya and Rich and
Yeah.
to see.
Actually, it's working pretty well. I actually received an update for, Joseph said they wanna, they're funding their store.
Oh, they got a
the
store?
site. They wanna open up a store, so that they presented something for me for review. So I work with resident services to provide us with invoices for, I guess, for expenses for each of those, MOUs, as, Mr. Garrett mentioned.
Okay, so can we also, Mr. Garrett, I think the last time we had a meeting with resident council, Josephson was in June. So I thought we were going to be meeting at the different sites, that was supposed to be ongoing, or where are we at, what's that?
Well, we'll start in the new year, we plan, and just to let everybody know, I mean, the Choice Neighborhoods is like a mammoth effort. Like, it's pulling staff time from everywhere, and that's due February 13th, actually. We looking to get it done by January 22nd, is the deadline internally. But one of the things that I would like to start next year that we used to do, we called it First Friday's Coffee with the Executive Director, and we would basically, the first Friday of the month, we will go to a site and we will randomly select 10 to 12 families and sit down with the themselves an executive director just to talk about issues, you know, what's going on in the property. So we're actually gonna begin that back in February timeframe. First Fridays with the executive director, that's one thing. Also,
That's a great idea.
Also,
I'm glad
Audrey,
you did that.
Very successful
it
program.
was
Yes,
very,
it was.
I think, you know, just honestly, COVID knocked us off on
Of course.
a lot of that. We were in the groove and kinda got knocked off that groove with COVID, but we wanna get back to that groove in 2024. And like Audrey said, she's also setting up, the managers meetings. That's a meeting between residents and the management staff. So that will be, you're doing that
Monthly.
monthly? Okay, that's
I
ambitious.
haven't gotten an invitation, because we were invited to those meetings, and I haven't been to one since last year, I think.
Well, you were invited to,
So far, I was at
This
Dolly
meeting.
Home, but the other ones I haven't been invited to.
okay.
So I would like to be invited to. The board should be invited to, let's say that. We should be informed when they're having a meeting, and it's our choice if we would like to attend, because the purpose of this board is to advocate for the residents.
The only problem is
But-
I don't wanna have a quorum.
Yeah.
Exactly, so it cannot be more than.
Okay, but we have to choose when they
You
have
can
meetings.
rotate them, right, if you decide to do that, that's
That's
what the board
fine.
wishes to do.
So we'll work on presenting the schedule for 24.
Appreciate that. And also posting the schedule for this board meeting in the lobby of all the buildings, and the offices of all the buildings, so they're aware that we're having our monthly meeting.
Yes. All right,
And the cash receipt and disbursement, that's not balancing out, and that's just
What do you mean?
me. Like the numbers, they're
They're not meant to balance, they're meant to give you a projection.
Of what, yeah.
oh, so this is different.
This is a
Okay,
projection
normally
through the
Full
end,
year.
through the end of the year, what you're gonna spend and what you wanna bring in, and then what your operating reserve balance is gonna be.
Right, okay, alright,
all right, so
I'll
we're
look at
gonna,
it again.
we're gonna move on now. Anybody else have any questions?
No, that about covers.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Anderson? Commissioner Garrett?
I think he's back.
Commissioner Anderson?
Yes,
Commissioner Garrett?
yes to me.
Thank you.
Yes, Anderson.
Yes,
Is that a yes for you,
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson?
Commissioner Green?
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez?
Yes.
Commissioner Raines? Commissioner Gentry?
Yes.
Chairwoman Wells?
Yes.
2342, Mr. Martin.
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Good
good
afternoon.
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Resolution 2342. Each year we go out for indefinite quantity architect and engineering services. It's usually for a 1-year period. We go out for it. We like to put in a contract 3 or 4 firms. This year we went out on August 27th. There were 12. There were 12 packages requested. There was actually 8 proposals received. The due date was September 19th.
Excuse me one second. Commissioner Anderson, could you put your phone on mute, please?
Okay.
I'm sorry, go ahead, what were you saying?
This year we picked the top 4 rated firms to put under contract. In total aggregate, we expect not to exceed $300,000 if we reach that for this next year. So I asked that we put
A grant, we identified a number of things with Wilson Homes as well, for a capital fund grant, so if that does not happen, then we'll be putting some capital funds toward that. I mean, keep in mind, like, I think that, again, I think this board we need to have a discussion, like a long-term discussion about that, because also with choice neighborhoods, I anticipate that we may wanna put some capital funds into that to make that program successful. And then we also now have, like I said, we've been working on choice neighborhoods, but we have our developer sitting in tow for Prospect and Fraser for the total rehabilitation of that property. So, and that's gonna require capital funds. So, there's definitely a limit in funds, but we're trying to be intelligent about how we direct it. But definitely Lincoln Homes, I think Lincoln Homes has not been addressed, since they did the rehab of Lincoln Homes, I believe in like 2004, so that's 20, yeah, that's going on 20 years, so there's definitely some issues over there that we need to address. The worst site is Wilson Homes, really, but we don't have the funds to address all of the things in Wilson Homes. That's something else that has to be planned out as a redevelopment project. That's either a total gut rehabilitation of the total property or a demolition and redevelopment of that property. But like I said, right now we're focusing Donnelly, Lincoln, and Prospect for next year. Is going to be the big focuses.
Any other questions?
Excuse me. Yes, I'm just gonna wrap it up. Out of these four, because these four we worked with before. I know we worked with Clark, Kent, and Hines. I mean, why do we need all? I mean, I can see you. Okay, so they all come with their different specialties. So you will break it down,
Well,
depending on what they need. I'm just not understanding why you need so many of them.
well, we just, in case, say we have say we do have a big, say we do get the grant for Wilson Homes, and the person who we usually our go-to person is Habitat Architects. We've been using Habitat for pretty much. They're very conscientious firm. They work well with us, and they're on the ground. So we like to use Habitat. But say we have a project that's a big project, we have to do two projects simultaneously. They don't have the wherewithal to handle all of it at the same time. We have backup, or if there's a different specialty or different things like that. Most of what we do is pretty basic. It's the most complex things are usually the heat and boiler system type of jobs, but everything else is pretty much basic stuff.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Roll call.
Commissioner Anderson?
Commissioner
Anderson?
Tell him to take yourself off mute.
You gotta take yourself off mute if you're on mute. I'll come back. Commissioner Gray?
Yes.
Commissioner Green?
Yes.
Is that a yes vote, Commissioner Anderson?
Yes.
Thank you.
Commissioner Lopez?
Yes.
Yes.
Commissioner Raines?
Aye.
Commissioner Gentry?
Yes.
Chairwoman Wilson?
Yes.
Okay. I think 2343 and 2344 will be handled by Ms. Huff.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Resolution 2343 is the resolution authorizing the Housing Authority and Executive Director to enter into an agreement with the Redevelopment Program Management Consulting Services. We advertised this RFP in September 18th, 2023. We received 2 firms submitted proposals, 9 firms picked up by the closing date of October 10th. The Brook Group was selected and had been working with the Housing Authority since 2012. They worked with us on our Hope 6 project, on our Section 3 programs, Davis-Bacon compliance, also with the closing of Page Homes. They've been working with us now with our Truth Neighborhood project, so we recommend, and they were the most responsible and most affordable proposal that was submitted out of the 2. So we recommend that we go with, we select, the board authorizes the executive director to enter into an agreement with the Brook Group to provide redevelopment program management services.
It's not to exceed 75,000.
And not to exceed 75,000, yes.
And this is for resolution 2343 and 2344.
No, 2344 is separate.
Okay. Okay. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Questions?
Yes, I don't see how much did you say that was?
Not to exceed 75,000.
Because that's not on here.
It's on the, in the
It's
body
in the
of the
background,
resolution.
in the body of the resolution. The paragraph, the last whereas paragraph right before now therefore be resolved.
Oh, okay, I see it, okay. Yes. So, this is really a renewal, actually. So what has Brookdale been doing? Cause I haven't been able to see, the invoices, so, together,
They're working with us and our housing developer on packaging that to go to HMFA. They also we're working on a relocation plan, they're working with us on that.
because a lot of that they did, they probably have already worked on, am I correct? Cause we were working with them with Michaels. So are they redoing what they already had
Everything
done,
has
or are they
changed
just
up.
upgrading?
Yeah, everything has changed up since we have a new developer. And we have not submitted any financial documents yet. This is our first actual submission that we're doing for HMFA.
Okay, so when do we get to see the financials that you're submitting to,
This is
HMFA?
preliminary approval, that we're submitting that and including that with our grant application.
Right, can I get I have asked you a number of times for stuff, and I haven't received
Go
anything.
through this to get everything out.
Well, it's not, I mean, you're not on the working team, so this is like, we have like calls every Friday with like 30.
I didn't ask that.
Okay.
I'm just
I
trying
won't
to
answer
see, I'm trying to see what they're doing. They're asking us to bring them aboard again, and I haven't seen anything they've done. They're getting paid,
Well-
and that's my question. Are we just paying them a monthly check, while they're
Well, no,
sitting
no.
still?
They
Of course not.
billable hours, and we do have in their proposal, they have a summary of things they worked on with us in general. If you want to provide
They
that
are
to you.
a valuable resource. Every deal is different. Right now, we're in the process again. Genetics billing is the most reasonable of pretty much any consultant that worked in the field that I've seen. He doesn't bill us for extraneous things. He bills us for work that he does. And again, he is a resource. He's a wealth of knowledge, and he helps our team through the process to get this stuff done. We had a call this morning with the head of the HMFA, the Treasury Department. We're talking about bringing additional money to this program, sources that are not even identified right now on the surface of things. So we're working hard, and he's a part of the team. His group is a part of our team. So you won't see it done until it's done. Ultimately, when we get a grant and we got buildings coming out the ground, then we'll say, oh, that's the work that went on. You don't see all the work that goes on until you see it manifest. But the work is definitely going on.
Any other questions? Well,
For the record, Commissioner Green left at 12:49.
Commissioner Ray?
Just real quick, obviously, we learned a lot from when we did Rush Crossing to now, and it's proven what we're doing. Yeah.
Well, I wasn't here during Rush Crossing.
Well, just to give you an example.
I'm speaking for myself.
On Rush Crossing, we
You said
essentially-
obvious.
We went
I said
from,
obviously, yeah.
we've built capacity with our small team, and again, we built this team, and Christy is a big portion of that, and myself. We went from our first deal with Rush Crossing, just having a ground lease and deferred developer fee, that even though we got the fee, we got it on the back end, and that was done in 2014, and it's 2023, and then I think from like 18 through 23, we got that deferred development fee. We moved on to the next level with Turner Point. Not only did we get our efforts toward redevelopment of our properties, and we're in a much better position. In fact, we have a lot of recognition, and people are recognizing our work and seeing and joining on to the work that we are attempting to do. So if you looked at the progression from say 2011 to now, it's a phenomenal progression. Where we are hindered, so to speak, is that we still operate in the environment of limited resources. So, we have folks that are doing 3 and 4 people's jobs, and, they're working hard. So we don't have a big giant staff. We don't have a bunch of administrative people. I'm just like Wilson Holmes. Stuff is busting everywhere. You can't just say, oh, just fix it. Where do you get it? There are processes, and you have to be creative and intelligent about going about getting the funds to fix these things, and then making sure that you keep folks in place. Just like Choice Neighborhoods, that's a 1-for-1 replacement. So everybody that lives here, nobody's going to be displaced. At the end of the day, they're going to have better housing, But, you know, these processes are not month to month. Like, you know, you're not gonna come in January and, oh, it's fixed, or February. You know, in my experience, even in Atlantic City, with my experience, I was basically a 12-year program. This program is an 8-year program. So, yeah, look at that. Yeah.
So when we say 80 years, 85 years, you're dealing with pipes that are clogged.
Right.
So when we go and we fix a boiler system, that's dealing with the heart of the issue. We didn't deal with any of the veins that are collapsing.
Right.
We're not dealing with the lungs. We're not dealing with any of the other systems. So we're spending, or we're exhausting a lot of funds, like Mr. Guy said, on our capital initiatives. It could be just on the heart, or it could be on the lungs, which is our HVAC systems. But we never address the pipes. So when we're shutting things down and it's bursting, you know, so to say, down the line, this is why it's bursting, because it's too much pressure being pushed through these pipes. So those are the issues that we're saying that can't be addressed between December and January.
Right.
It's a long-term capital funding plan.
Right. I think what we do need to do, and I just, you know, since we're talking about it, I think what we do, and we talked earlier this morning about this, what we do need to do a better job is communication. Because I think what happens is a lot of times our folks get frustrated or they feel helpless. Residents are calling, and our residents have a great demand. Like, people call and feel like, if I call, you know, this morning, it's supposed to be addressed this afternoon. And I think what our people do is they just say, okay, they don't really explain to folks, or they need to do, I don't say they don't, but I think we need to do a better job explaining to folks, these are our parameters, these are our limits. And you know what, you have a shade that's down, or you have a light bulb in your refrigerator that needs to be replaced, you might want to go to the dollar store and get that light bulb. You know, you have a stopper in your sink. You don't have a stopper. You may want to go and invest a couple dollars to go get a stopper for your household. We're coming out for stuff like, you know, even like we talked about, even plunging. Sometimes it's a major system issue, but a lot of our folks need life skills. So where in our particular homes, we have a plunger, we may plunge it. Now you're calling an on-call person to plunge a toilet that could be cleared with a regular plunger. So what does that do? That's 4 hours for us. Somebody gets on call, that's 6 hours, because it's time and a half on maintenance. Let's talk about another thing in terms of education. Litter. Just throwing stuff down, just throwing trash in the hallways. And, you know, people call us for everything. Oh, come get this trash in the hallway. So it's like, we're looked to be like a concierge service, but the people aren't living up to their part of it. You know what I mean? So the education is key. We have to, and in 2024, I would say we would have to upgrade our education process, do more education, and we need support from the board to say, okay, when you see us doing that education process, take the time to listen to us as well, to understand the issues. You can give us the tough questions, but listen to our answers, you know, analyze it, look at it. Don't give us a pass, but look at it, and can we be reasonable to see what we're doing? But we're definitely moving creatively, and we have moved creatively. Actually, on like the Job Plus grant, that's for Wilson Homes. We got word from her that we're on a short list on that. So fingers crossed. Boom. And this is a, you know, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. But this is not it's not even a 1-year, 2-year project. The condition that our people are in.
Right.
That's a 400-year project. It took 400 to 500 years to get there, so we're not digging out in a month or two. And yes, do we have staffing issues? Yes. Do people need to step up and do more in areas? Yes, absolutely. Do we need to communicate better? Yes, absolutely. All of those things. But we have the people in place and we're moving toward it. We just need the support. And we need to continue to be creative in the way we go about it.
Can I say something to you? I think that secretary report that you just did is what is needed, because we don't know unless you're telling us. So I commend you today. That is what I have been asking, more information from you to break it down, and you did splendid. And I like to thank you for it, because we don't know this stuff unless you actually
Vice
Any
Record?
other questions?
Got it.
Roll call?
Commissioner Anderson? Commissioner Anderson?
You.
Commissioner Garrett?
Yes.
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 Yes. Thank you.
Commissioner Lopez?
Yes.
Commissioner Raines?
Aye.
Commissioner Gentry?
Yes.
Chairwoman Wilson?
Yes.
Okay, resolution number 2344, resolution of the Housing Authority of the City of Trenton adopting a community empowerment and Section 3 policy. So in the past, we've had all a Section 3 policy, I believe we created in 2012. The purpose of the policy is to make sure that we hire local people within the Housing Authority, within the City of Trenton, within Mercer County, when we're doing large projects like our construction projects, as well as contractors, so contract services. We did really well with our Rush Crossing project and also with our Page Home. We want to continue the process. HUD has changed some of the rules where if you're a Section 3 business and you are registered in your system and you're not located in the City of Trenton or in Mercer County, we can still hire you because you're still considered Section 3, even if you're in a different municipality. So we wanted to make sure we focus more on Trenton-based and Mercer County-based, so we created a community empowerment plan, which says to our contractors, no, you have to focus still on local people, local hiring, local contracting. So that's what this policy is about, and we recommend that the Board of Commissioners adopt this policy. And, yeah, that's all.
Can I have a motion to adopt resolution 2344?
So moved.
Second.
So moved.
Any questions?
Yes. First, how urgent is it that we need to get this passed by?
It can wait a month or so. We just wanted to get it in play before we start our construction of both of our projects, so we have time.
Okay.
Keep in mind, if you have, it's a living document also,
Mhm.
so don't think of it as like, it said if you see something and it needs to be amended, that's the old one.
Right, that's why I brought it, because I wanted to know how different the one that we get ready to
So
pass.
it's a living document.
Mhm.
I'm just.
Okay,
just
yeah,
put
yeah.
that on the table.
The difference is HUD's rules.
No, I know, I agree, but I guess when I take
Commissioner
this,
Garrett?
Really, because Section 3 just means 30% of your workers are low income, so, you know what I mean, it's like, it's a delicate balance, but our policy, we wanna focus on local businesses, local hiring, and making sure that money stays in the community. So we kinda like, when we was going through it, we said, oh, we have to update our Section 3 policy, and when we started looking at what they were saying, they said, no, we can't just update it just by what HUD is saying, we need to do, so we decided to call it community empowerment in Section 3, so we can get those other pieces, that focus on local and minority business, women-owned business aspects in there.
Okay, thank you. Those are my questions.
Commissioner Garrett?
just real briefly, so everything in here, everything or just what is changed in the ones you have under this resolution? I need to just take this stuff out. Could you just email this to me so I can see
Yeah.
what the difference is, please?
Okay.
I appreciate that. I mean, I see what you're saying, and I've heard this from Mr. Garrett when I initially came on board in regards to the section 3, aspect of, making sure we have, vendors from the community and the, various status that he just spoke about, minority status. So, I thought that was already implemented in the old one. That's why I didn't get it. Okay.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Garrett,
Yes.
Commissioner Green, Commissioner Lopez,
Yes.
Commissioner Raines,
Yes.
Commissioner Gentry,
Yes.
Chairwoman Welby.
Yes.
The two of these, now the walk-ons, 2345, and he's doing both, 2345.
I'll be great. Not a problem.
Rich is giving me my instructions.
Easy one, 2345. Reading the PSA main staff requires another vehicle. We haven't had a vehicle for them in some time. Ford F-250 was selected. Ford Winter Ford is the,
We have already to date this for the maintenance. When was the last time we bought a truck for the maintenance department?
Last time we bought one was 2018, I think.
So how many do we have in total when we purchased this one?
Two.
This will be the second?
This will be second or third. I don't have the list in front of me.
Well, I think altogether we have like 12 vehicles.
Oh, we have a lot of
Altogether,
people together,
security
but I'm saying just for
vehicles.
No,
me.
I'm just talking about for maintenance.
I think it's 1 per site, right? Like 5?
I think it's 5.
Oh, is it that?
This particular one is for, this is not just for maintenance, this is for grounds. It allows, so you got 6 grounds workers. It actually allows all of them to travel together. That's why we're getting this one. It allows them all to travel together. It has a little bigger because they do bulk pickup and stuff like that. Again, we have somewhat of an issue where is that most of our grounds guys right now don't have licenses. So there's like one designated driver. So this allows us to put them all in one vehicle and move to the different routes to the different sites together as a team.
Okay.
Really good price for 2,000.
So it's just, it's bare bones.
Fair enough.
I'm being funny, but at least what I'm saying is
It's
the
a
price is
base model.
phenomenal.
It's a base price for
Yeah,
that
I thought
vehicle.
price
It's phenomenal.
These are expensive.
Phenomenal.
I've already heard.
In a
And it
very
goes-
good way.
yeah, and it's a way,
It's
yes.
$100,000 truck.
That's $100,000 truck.
That's why I wasn't, I was like.
Well, 75,000, because you don't have it.
They probably don't have air conditioning or nothing.
Got the road down,
Baseline.
I got the standard equipment list right here.
All right. Any other questions?
Yeah,
Roll call, please.
yeah, that's it.
Commissioner Anderson,
I get it right back.
Commissioner Garrett,
Yes.
Commissioner Green. Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner Lopez,
Yes.
Commissioner Raines,
Yes.
Commissioner Gentry,
Yes.
Chairman Wilson.
Yes.
Did it get approved?
Yes.
Yes, thank you so much.
Good job. yes.
Resolution 2346,
Yes.
snow removal. Dun, 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 dun.
Fasten your seatbelts.
Yeah. We're actually under contract and we, for 3 years, but we sent a cancellation letter in September for the renewal contract. Wanted to go out again for snow removal. We put an RFP out on September 10th. This was due October 3rd. 5 bid packages were requested. We had 2 responses. One response was a lone site, which did not meet our requirements. The other response was extremely high. And we rejected both of them, went out for bid again. We advertised on October 15th. By the due date of November 9th, we had no responses. So per local public contracts law, we went out for a negotiation. It took some time, but we're talking with Job 1, who was under previous contract. We decided to put them under retainer for $55,000 to get them under contract, and depending on what happens this year, we will either not incur any more expenses, or we will incur depending on snowfall.
Oh, so that's how you setting it up this time?
Right.
Okay. And,
If we had significant snowfall, we would pay them up to $50,000 for the month.
Hold on a minute, Commissioner Guerrero.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Are you done?
So, I would say the idea would be that we put them under contract, again, under a retainer, and then if we have significant snowfall, up to $50,000 a month, but we would expect not to exceed $250,000 for the year. If there's nothing happening, it will not be paid beyond the retainer. So as they put them under contract for the 23-24 winter season.
So, not to correct that, but the retainer fee is to get them under contract, but there will be a retainer cost each month going into that, just to make sure that, yeah, for the 15K, to ensure that they have for their services, so they'll be on call. If there isn't or that 15K retainer fee will be deducted from any costs incurred during to a snow occurrence. So that will be spent or used in just different, I guess, with the plows and things along those lines. Standby, having their guys on call for them to, I guess, return or be active at her call, and also doing other things. So it's not just snow, it's ice, Any other type of inclement weather, things along those lines, we would be able to utilize for this service.
Okay.
Look at it like a snow insurance policy.
Correct.
That's essentially what it is. And what happened last year, actually,
Is it not?
they had to defend.
Is this the same company?
It's the same company.
Yeah.
They had to defend lawsuits, and that was a part of our thinking, is that we were shifting liability and we were getting an insurance policy. So just raw numbers and just total, but full disclosure, if there is no snow this year, what will be our total out of pocket?
$110,000.
$110,000. That will be our total.
That's what we paid them in the first place. It didn't have.
No, we paid
Well, it was 200.
We paid them
It was
200.
double that. It was double that last year.
It was a million, 1 point something
No, we
million
never paid
dollars
them
for
1
3. No, I didn't say. I don't know how much you paid them because you
We paid
had
them
them for at least a year. They had a 3-year contract, so they were on. That contract stayed in effect for how many years? Because it was 3 years the last time. So I think you had them in effect 2 years. They got
this
it was
is the first.
$40,000 a month.
Yeah, this is the first year. That was last year, and then we had I don't think that's ever going to happen again because we've already seen snow twice, and even though it didn't stick, we've seen snow two or three times already this season. Twice. Yeah, it didn't stick, but I doubt. I mean, I don't know. I would bet the lottery if you have another year with no snow events. That was an aberration. We've never had a year with no snow. So it looked like we were wasting money because of the aberration. But look what happened though. There's a liability on snow out there is becoming more onerous. You have less people that actually want to do that service, particularly in public housing. So probably would have been smarter to just keep them on and go ahead. I'm sorry.
But we also dodged 3 particular insurance cases.
Yeah.
So
What was that?
we could have been liable for 3 insurance cases in which that company lost
They
because of the snow.
indemnified the authority.
Yeah. So if we didn't have those companies in place, we would have never been able to transfer over that liability.
Correct. I'm sorry, before you go any further. We need a motion first.
Okay, go ahead.
Can I have a motion? I'm sorry, first of all. Mr. King, are you finished?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Squibb, are you finished?
Yes.
Okay. Can I have a motion?
Mr. Ted.
I apologize.
No worries, no worries.
Can I have a motion to adopt resolution 2346?
Second, Anderson.
Anderson, thank you so much. Now we're gonna go to questions.
Okay, thank you. All right, so just to piggyback off of what Mr. Garrett and Mr. Tibbs was just saying about this 15 on-call service monthly. So I heard you state that if there is no snow or prediction or forecast is what I'm trying to say, forecast, there will be a certain snowstorm for, let's say, the month of December. We're going to issue them 15,000 still, or we're going to visit 15,000 because we don't know the forecast yet. So they forecast there's possibly going to be some snow. There's no snow. January comes and there's no forecast. We're still going to issue them out $15,000.
Correct. Yes. For insurance. It's insurance and to protect us in the event that there is a snow event. And again, that covers us for multiple occurrences. So if it snows twice, if it snows 3 times, 4 times, 10 times, we're covered. But if it doesn't snow, that's the occurrence. That's the fee. And just to note, the industry is changing. The cost that we received in some of the bids were, I would say, almost astronomical. We were there were some that came back with almost $50K per site for some of the bids that came in that we've seen this year. 25 per site to 50K per site. So when you look at it, when you look at the numbers, this deal is actually very beneficial for the housing authority.
Okay, can we actually have them do something else besides just the snow and the salt to kind of to help us with this monthly thing? Can they come in and possibly pick up some of the trash just laying around
Would
there,
you-
the bags? I mean, can
So-
they do something else?
No.
Some landscaping? I'm just
No,
like,
and just to be clear, and what we're doing is, we're splitting the risk on this. So the 15, if it does snow, we begin to draw down off of that 15 from the retainer. I mean, you weren't here, but I think it was 2000, and like, what year was it, 18 and 19?
Yeah.
We
Most
had
definitely
like,
just snowstorm.
we had like something does happen.
okay. Yes, because of the coverage. I just still don't like the deal. But I'm gonna say yes because we need the coverage and I understand the liability.
I'm with you. And the chair
We don't
will
know.
At this time, do we have any new business?
Yes. I don't know if it's new business, but it's dealing with the trustee board. I would like, us to,
Commissioner Correct, I'm sorry, what's this?
the redevelopment trustee board.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not really understanding, I would like us to propose changing that as well, because the people who are trustees has been on that board as long, until they either not on this board, and then we select another, trustee, and it's not giving everyone an opportunity to, give input and be part of the redevelopment aspect of the redevelopment board. So I would like to change the bylaws that, you know, is either we vote on it every year or every 2 years of new commissioners.
No, it is like that. So actually, Christie, I just.
Yeah, I'm
told
gonna
Christie
research it. I think
This
it's
morning,
4
they're
years.
looking to make sure we're up to date with the appointments, but each commissioner is 3 years. So this is a 3-year term.
Oh, really? Because I've only voted, well, we was presented for a new member, I think.
We've done
what?
two. We've done two.
We've done,
since you've been here.
we've done, well, Miss Green, she wasn't even,
She replaced
finished
me
the
when
class.
I left.
I know, I was here, remember?
All right, relax.
And, who was that before that? Oh, and, Mr. Anderson, Commissioner Anderson.
He's a
Because I think he replaced Kim.
Yeah, we'll get the actual, the facts on.
Yep.
When they were appointed.
Terms and all that kind of
Terms and all that. We'll get all of that for you.
Yeah, and again, the updating of the bylaws, and, I would like to, I submitted to the board a couple of times, the operating of the board, I sent that, I emailed it to you all about what some of the practices, some protocols in place. I did send a template, to all the board members, and I would like to, be able to get the approval to fill it in, and then we can look at it, make some changes, or we can wait until we have the retreat, and we can all work on that together. How is the retreat going?
I can talk about that when.
That's
But that's it. Thank you.
just protocols to the bylaws? Is that-
For both bylaws, for the trustee board and for this board. There's gotta be a change about the chairman.
Time limit?
Yeah, time limit for the chair, and that it has to be circulated to every board member. Every board member should have a chance to be chair. It should,
Each vendor might give their own spin on what we want to cover, but it'll be relationship building as well as, you know.
team building, is that the retreat we're gonna do? Is the team building retreat? Is that one you're talking about?
I wouldn't call it team building, but it is about defining roles and really being
That's
able
team
to.
building.
Alright, so then we'll call it team building, and it will be for January the 27th.
Okay.
January 27, what time?
Starting probably at 9. Again, depending on the vendor, right, but we can say 9
So
to
you're trying to do 9 and 12 or 9? Commissioner Correct?
Yes, that includes the secretary, with the team building, I think.
First of all, we're gonna focus on us, because we are the commissioners, and we are the ones who need to come together. And we
Okay.
will decide who we're going to invite later on, besides that.
No, but it's in the, policy that the executive, the ED is supposed to be part of all the retreats.
Of course.
Right. Okay, so now you can go further,
So
because the 27th is set in.
And the attorney, if he wants to involve himself
Okay.
as well.
If the board wishes, I'll check that weekend. The only thing that might conflict is my son and daughter-in-law may be moving into a new house, and they need my help with that, but other than that,
Okay.
it should be available.
Please see if you can come on 27th.
Okay.
All right,
Yep.
thank you.
And the second thing is the final selection of the vendor.
Okay.
From the research that I've done, the average price we're gonna find is $4,500, and so before I even, introduce what type of vendor we get, like the specific person, that is gonna be the average price. So I looked up at Narrow, I looked up at the
But what does
Tashane
that
Group, I looked
include,
up
those
at
deals?
CSG Advisors, and so that is on par with the different vendors that I spoke to.
Yeah, but what does that include? Because when you sent the email, you said it's comprehensive. It was 3 hours. So comprehensive, to me, as I shared with you and sent you the email, had to be tailored to the board. Because we go to narrow conference, we go to legal municipality, and it cannot be a duplication of services, meaning we have already paid for this already. When we go to narrow conference, we're paid for that. So we're supposed to already be up to date, so that's my concern. Because if we're just gonna get the same thing that we already get from narrow, and we're paying for that, am I correct? Because don't we pay for all the narrow online conferences and whatnot?
Yes.
Yeah, I would just interject to say that it sounds like to me that you're speaking in absolute terms, and there are no absolute terms with this. What HUD provides in terms of guidance on what you can do or what you should do as a retreat is just that. It's guidance.
It's open-ended.
It's not, what I'm saying is, you're speaking in absolute terms, like, it says it has to be this, it has to be
No,
that.
that's not what I mean.
Okay.
It's what I'm saying to you is that we already taken those classes, and my thing is, I'm not trying to attend something I'm already knowledgeable about.
Well,
So that's my point. I want to see something that I'm going to get out of it. I'm not trying to go for 4 hours and sit and just listen.
So-
It's supposed to be like,
okay.
yeah, because if it's going to be like a lecture thing, I'm not really sure. It's supposed to be, what do you call it, where it's all, what? Interactive, yes, thank you.
Okay.
It's interactive, because if we're just sitting there listening to somebody tell us overview, we already taken the Rutgers, we already went to Rutgers, we took the skills of commissioner, a lot of these classes, so how do we take what we already taken and, tailor it to us working together at this board? Because we have a lot of stuff, and you know that since you've been here a year, am I right? Yeah.
So, what I would say to that is, yes, we can make sure that's as interactive as possible, and that's the point of retreat. I wouldn't want one where we're just listening as well. I want one where we're talking. And, for example, I've heard in the past, you've made a comment how we should all make sure we know what our responsibilities are, and at times saying, hey, I think you're not quite understanding what your responsibility is. That is the case even though we have taken the Rutgers courses, even though we've taken narrow. And so what this would provide us an opportunity to do is make sure we're on the same page, to make sure we understand the same things. And so even if it's some repetitive quote-unquote information,
That's okay.
the activity is gonna make sure we can agree on things.
Okay, that's perfect.
Okay.
You got the point.
Yes.
All right, well, thank you so much, and please move forward with that, because it's already December.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I make am I able to make a suggestion?
Of course you
Not
can.
yet,
Not yet.
Not yet.
please. At this time. At this time, we're gonna have public session. Is there anybody from the public who would like to speak? Please stand to the podium.
Also,
Be nice.
I want to say,
Professionalism at its best.
the comment about the maintenance, I know you guys said that you hired two, are they gonna be floaters, or are you guys gonna hire more to accommodate all of your development?
Yeah, I think we have, what, 6 more positions?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
It's just, it hasn't been for lack of trying, it's actually been for lack of getting qualified people. Yes.
And like, is that gonna be also added for people they're like on call for like emergencies? Like, you know,
We're looking at changing our shifts,
okay.
so to make sure that we have coverage for later in the day.
Like
Or
in a
later in
3
the night.
shift, 2 shift? or-
Yes, we're exploring those options, but we have to get personnel first.
Okay. What was the other thing? The other thing was, looking forward to working with you guys still.
We look forward to working with you.
Yes, to, develop, have us all grow. We're still working on the tenants. Some are decisive, some aren't. But again, like you said, with education and keep educating them, whether we do it by paper, on the door, or by phone calls, we're still working with the residents to come on board, to try to implement and change things. I think a lot of people right now are scared of change. And what I try to explain to the residents is that regardless if you guys are on board or not, things are gonna happen.
Yeah, that's true.
They're already happening, like our development with, the breaking ground of this. And we're trying to like get them like, look, you guys gotta come out and you gotta find out what is going on where you live and where you reside. Because at the end of the day, when we do this, like, don't come at us like, oh, we didn't know this and that. We have been giving you guys information, we have been going forward and letting you guys know stuff, but again, I think a lot of it is change and people just, I don't know, they don't believe stuff is going on or they just sitting back, but at the end of the day, it's still a work in progress. Let's see. I think that's just it. Oh, with the air conditioning, you were saying about the air conditioning. A lot of people have medical issues that have to keep their air conditioning. I know in the past they were given like notices or doctor's notice to housing, implementing why they have the air conditioning. I know you were addressing it of them having it year round. So some of the cases is, including is medical issue. And some of it, I guess, people just keep them whatever. So, I know you were saying about taking the air conditioners out, but, would people have to bring their notices to, because you guys might not want the air conditioners in the window, or who can have them and who can't? Besides the thing.
We gotta put a policy together.
I don't think that, as long as you pay your money, I don't think the housing authority can dictate if you have to take it out or not. One thing that I think that we all need to be aware of, if some people put the air conditioners in the window and somebody take it out for them, who's gonna put it back?
Yeah.
Because it is not the housing authority's responsibility.
Indoor storage.
We're gonna store it.
And store.
Exactly.
Okay.
So for the people who are paying to have their air conditioning in, that is their choice.
Right,
That's
but
not
it's
something
only
that you
paying
can take away from them.
Right.
It's, they're only paying the,
They pay from May to October.
right, but they still have their air conditioners in there between the months they're not paying.
Yeah,
There's a policy in place. I don't, to be honest with you, I don't know
No.
the policy off the top of my head. I don't know.
Just don't
what-
charge.
It does,
You have a
the
policy
only
for charging,
policy
and
is
even
that
with
they
housing.
just don't charge.
Yeah, we don't charge, there's no charge after October for those areas.
Correct.
We have other, and it may be in the house rules,
Yeah.
but we also have different parameters that have to be adhered to with
Right.
even mounting it up.
Yeah.
So
Correct.
you have to get the request to do it, but it's the ownership that goes into it when we take on that liability of taking it out and storing it. We've had cases where we've taken it out for residents, put it in their, just left it on the floor in their units, and it was dripping and caused additional damage. They said it was done by us. It's a lot of rigmarole that goes on it, but I think what you're saying should be looked on a case-by-case basis.
Right.
If there is a resident that is looking for assistance to take it out, we should figure out how we accommodate.
Right, and that's why I was asking about the maintenance, fellas, or even with the company we just approved. Maybe that could be something that they do, but we have to have some, well, like you're saying, look at the liability of where they would put those air conditionings in the unit. Like I said, if they're not paying for them, it's causing our heating bill to go up, why are we paying for that? And like I said, I looked at the windows, and I'm like, the air conditioner just sitting there. Those little panels that spread out, they no longer there anymore. Or they broke all up, or they got clothes in them hanging out the window. It just,
Or a sheet.
or a sheet. It's pathetic. It's like, really?
It is, but at the end of the day, that's where they pay rent at, and that's their responsibility.
Yeah, but there's a responsibility to be able to have quality of housing. It makes the place look blighted.
That is true too, but at the end of the day, it is still their responsibility.
I agree, but there still are rules. Am I correct?
What is the rule?
Well, that's what we're trying to find out.
There is no rule.
Well, we should put one in place.
There's a rule, there's a rule.
There's a policy.
There's a rule, there's a policy. It would be best to talk with Audrey to get the.
But one policy that we've had is, we have wanted our maintenance guys to actually put the air conditioners in the units. Because a lot of the residents were not putting them in properly.
And it looks like they're not properly inserted.
And they were tearing up windows, and
Right.
dripping, and all those kinds of things. So that was one policy that we had in place for our maintenance guys, to put them in, not take them out. But just, if they came and said, on an air conditioner, our managers would send a maintenance guy over to.
But they gotta be able to manage them once they get in the window, cause it's just an eyesore. It's just ridiculous. I'm like, this is ridiculous. It just looks bad.
Anything else, Ms. Marshall?
And the other thing is the garbage.
Yeah.
What would housing want to put in place about the garbage situation? Because it is
It's horrible.
ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Throwing stuff out the window is ridiculous. All the garbage around the dumpster, and there's no garbage in the dumpster. That's ridiculous. And we have some of the residents that are like cleaning. Listen, your maintenance, your ground crew, they do an excellent job. I get pissed at the residents because the other day, there was no garbage in the dumpster, but the garbage was all around the dumpster. And I'm like, is something going on? Like, what is? I know back in the past they used to charge the residents if they knew that they were doing it. But like, what can we do to implement more? Because that is an eyesore.
Responsibility.
When you guys have people come, or even if you walk around yourself, it's nasty.
It is. It's very nasty. It's dirty.
And I know a garbage probably ain't but I don't know.
The parking lot got food trays thrown on the ground.
Everywhere.
10 that's food still left in it because they didn't eat it. Garbage bags coming out of the walkway near the fence. And they don't even take it to the dumpster. You saying the dumpster, I seen it just sitting out there, bags and bags. I've seen a person walk out and just drop the bag right there outside the entrance.
What'd you say to him?
I didn't say anything.
I do say something.
There you go.
No, in my neighborhood, I usually say something. But the thing is, you gotta pick, I don't mind saying things, I don't have a problem, but my thing is, I don't live there. If I live,
I would recommend that I would recommend the next time you have your tenant meeting, that you will bring up about the garbage, because one thing that people don't take into consideration is the change within ourselves in order for somebody else to help us.
and can I say,
Basically, I've been telling the residents, I'm kind of just tired of telling them.
I would like to tell them, that's my forum to be at your meeting, to say that. But for me to be walking around the property to say that, that's not the place to do that.
Correct.
But if you would like me to come to a meeting to sit down and talk about these things or to address them, that's where I could be able to do that. but not just walking in the, out there and like, pick trash, that's not where I should be
No,
doing
and the
that.
only reason why too, I was saying like, what can we do to draw up to the fact to these residents is because it's like, even though I'm a resident myself and then I'm a board member, it's like, it go in one ear after the other, or it go over their head, and it's like, okay, you know, whatever. So now I just feel like, I know before they used to charge the residents for having, no, they used to do that.
We used to give them tickets.
Yeah, they used
But the
to,
whole
they
thing
used to
is
do
the
that,
collection
because they
collection.
wouldn't, they
So like
wouldn't,
you can't.
the garbage, like, it's like dumping, and then again, like, we have signs that, about the dumping, the laundering. Like, why, you know, it's still an issue, and again, and then you say, oh, well, Ms. Marshall, we got, mice, you got mice and you got roaches because people are throwing garbage
Exactly.
on the ground, and then when the truck come pick it up, and like I talked to the city people, they are not allowed to get out their trucks to pick up any of the
anything
garbage
extra.
that's around the dumpster. So if all the garbage is outside the dumpster, it is going to be there. Is no garbage is in there, and they dumping is no garbage, then guess what? It's no garbage. But what I'm saying is, all that garbage that's left out, even with the, I know when Mr. Andrew was here, when he was, we had meetings, he had a date where you have put out your furniture and stuff. Is that date still, I think it was like Tuesdays and Thursdays?
You
Is
gotta
that-
call the city just to set that, they would have to call the city.
No, for housing, the maintenance would pick up like the furniture and all that stuff. We had it set up like that. Is it still the same dates, Tuesday and Thursday, or is different?
I'm not sure.
So,
We'll look into that.
Okay.
Alright, so
It's
we'll
supposed to
look
be
into that.
it's supposed to be 2 days a week. It's supposed to be Tuesday and Thursday. Unfortunately, the city hasn't been coming into the complex in a long time. Today was a perfect example. I had to move all the mattresses and couches out of the way today, this morning. So we're gonna contact the city and make sure that we have those dates solid.
okay.
And then give notice to the city tenants.
Just trying to keep the, you know.
Anything else, Ms. Marshall? Well, thank you very much for your help.
Good afternoon, Board.
Good afternoon.
My name is Kenneth Hill, President of French Towers. First of all, I'd like to say it was a good meeting because I haven't been to one in a long time, but it was good. People, folks, active people. Chaotic. But we had a petition written out about a guard over at French Towers. Now, we don't want nobody to lose their job. We want people to do the job right and respect us like we respect them. A couple of older people came in the building one day. Residents, they had bags and stuff. Sitting there, you gonna open the door. Then when they get in, you totally like, what is you here for? Are you here to help us or hurt us? You know, and Mr. Thompson back there, he had some problems, disagreement, so I came today on account of the residents of French Towers to see can we get Mr. Glover, Mr. Garrett, Mr. Godfrey to come over and speak with the residents so they can address their concerns or whatever they may have. We know it might not happen this year, but could it happen next year? Could you come over?
Okay.
But let me ask you something, Mr. Gary, Mr. Glover's not here, right? What is the procedure? Are they supposed to help with bags and stuff like that? Is that part of security responsibility? Or that's just them being courteous?
A good guard learns his building,
Right.
and he helps, if he sees residents coming in with bags, he doesn't say you have to use the key fob. I mean, it's different here, it's all in the guard, and Mr. Glover is here. It's all in the guard, you know what I mean, and getting the guard to use their common sense and their, you know, their courteousness and common sense and all of that, so. Did you talk with Mr. Glover already about it?
No, he just wrote it up, and we just came to the board meeting just to address it for now, so
I would say
we were like,
talk with Mr. Glover about it, make sure that he understands it, because you talked with Freedom about it already?
yes, we
Okay.
talked with Mr. Green, and
So, okay.
Mr. Glover's aware.
Oh, he's aware, okay,
Yeah,
all
to
right.
go over there, absolutely.
Okay, all right.
Cause I know they have a shopping cart, you have a shopping cart, am I correct over there?
yeah, but the thing is, understand what the thing is. We have our dollars to get in,
Right.
but we have also had people coming and
Offer about the retreat, it's just an offering, take it. But what if specifically, if you're working on just good governing practices, you know, learning from, what if you use like a recording of an actual board meeting and use it for like best practices, like use it, you know, like what went well,
We suggested it.
what
That's
we
what we
improved.
suggested. Yeah, that's what we
That was it,
suggested.
that was my only
Yes.
offer.
Cause that, we did,
Thank you
maybe
so much.
disagree, but that was suggested. That was
Okay.
suggested, correct?
I don't know if it was like that, so taking our own board meeting,
Yeah, your own board meeting.
yeah, I think that's a good idea.
All right, at this time, we'll have commissioner comment. Commissioner Rain?
Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays.
Sitting here listening to resolution, I think 2344. I was really impressed with the team that the executive director and our secretary has put together. You guys really work well together. And you need to hear that a lot, especially from this podium, from this stage.
Thank you.
All I had.
Commissioner?
I'd like to echo what Commissioner Raines just said, because it's a lot to manage old property and uninformed people. That's hard, you know, there are people who haven't worked with the public. And so like, you know, like you were saying, garbage around the dumpster and not in the dumpster. I mean, that just seems like something that would be basic. And the idea that you have to go and educate somebody, put the trash in the dumpster, that's mental. And then you're working on an old building, like he showed you that pipe, you know, over time, and it brings a lot of issues with it. So, you know, I want to commend you for the idea that you're looking to replace the old buildings and replace them with some new stuff. That's going to improve life and hopefully improve attitudes as well. And that's it.
Commissioner Gillette?
I would like to be more involved with the residents on behalf of the administration. Speaking with the residents, having like a forum with the different properties, discussing what we just discussed today, the air conditioning, the trash, responsibilities of the residents. It seems like they do, I don't know if they communicate with every commissioner here on this board, but they do communicate with me. And I'm thinking maybe that will be, you know, you always gotta have something that people have collectively have an interest in, to come together collectively to wanna participate. I would like to be instrumental in that. Just, you know, for each board meeting, sit down and talk with the administration, like, let's kind of look at how we want to see things. Because to me, from my environment, and I'm sure other people would say the same, you know, that helps like with the mental state. So I would like to be instrumental in that. I'd like us to address on-call maintenance, because I've had some previous calls from Josephson, when there was a boiler. I did speak to Mr. Garrett. Mr. Garrett explained the whole detail. It's like, for like that instance, the water, or the boiler, the water's not warmed up or hot, whatever. So they don't have anybody there. They said they called for a couple of hours. The next day, still there was they weren't aware that the issue was being worked on. So I just would like us to kind of limit those ongoing calls for something major that affects everyone on if it's if for a building or for a property, just put one sign. We don't need to be sending out a bunch, just to let them know maintenance is aware that this is the issue, we have received your calls, and it's being worked on. That should just shut down all those numerous of calls and frantic to the message center or whatever. I really thought this was a very good meeting because it was very informative. It was free flowing to the issues, especially with this report, because to me, just to come here to this meeting and just sign off on stuff and we still have no clue about what's happening, what projects is working on. We only know what the complaints, I know what the complaints that the residents informed me of. So it's like, I can't really say anything except side with the residents because this is the first time you actually opened up and really shared. Really went in depth and shared. I'm not saying you have to do it often, but it was very informative. But it was, I'm telling you, because this is what I've been asking, because this is the purpose of why we come here monthly. We're not here, I don't live here, and I don't know nothing about what's going on except what I hear from the residents, and when the residents call me, I come and inspect, I come and look, and I don't get anything. So, and that's when I send the emails to you, and still no response. So to me, what it looks like that the administration is not responding and communicating with the residents. You know, do you drop your hat for every little thing? No. But you do gotta, communication is key. Communication is key. So what you shared with me today, I have something to elaborate, exactly what you just, I have something to answer. Like I can answer some of the questions and direct you without all this here back and forth. But where you're having this issue, these are the projects. The tenants say, we don't know what's going on. We don't know what projects are being worked on. We don't know what they're doing with the money. That's why the tenants were coming here saying, what are you doing with the money? Because we don't see where the money's being applied. So that's the issue. They're thinking that you're stealing the money and you're misappropriating the money. So it alleviates all that. So that's it.
Commissioner Lopez? No comments.
And I'd like to commend, you want to speak? Okay. I'd like to commend, I thought Chairman Walden Gordon, I thank you for it. I'm not, no stress, no nothing. It was very good. I thank you for it. I think if this is how it's going to go, I think we made a very good choice.
Thank you. Mr. Kinney?
Yes, I forgot to say one thing. I'd like to commend Mr. Terrence for getting his guys over to the building and doing a great job over there. It's one of them roots over there.
Okay, thank
Yes.
Didn't hear my voice, my name.
Mr. Anderson?
I just want to say, Artie, congratulations to you. And this was a beautiful meeting. I believe that everyone was very, settled. And again, congratulations, always hearty congratulations to my director and his staff and the job that they are doing, second to none. So I'm glad Commissioner Garrett was at peace with today's meeting, and it shows that we got new leadership, and maybe this new leadership, extend new attitude. But I just want to wish everyone a happy New Year, a Merry Christmas, and a happy holiday, and I hope that we come back with doing great things.
Thank you.
For the coming year.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations to you, and God bless you all.
Thank you.
Same to you, and get well. Commissioner Ray?
I will say, by God's grace, you know, I will.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Ray.
Yeah, I had wrote it down, but I forgot. Leadership is hard, and I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize the job that Gary Gentry did as chair. It's no joke sitting at the head of this table with these personalities. And you handle it with grace, you handle it with class, and your knowledge is going to be needed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Change my name to Love.
I'm coming to the way.
First of all, I would like to say thank you very much for nominating me to be the chair. Truly in my heart, I have good intentions for everyone. Life is short these days, you know, and we really have to do better. And I'm gonna try my best for all of us to do better, because we have to set an example. For the tenants, I would like to say to the tenants, for any issues that happen in the facility, I would like you guys to do your due diligence to give the staff and the executive director at least 5 days. And the reason why I say 5 days is because, for one, regardless of whatever happened, they have to assess the situation first. Then they have to see who can get to fix it, when they can fix it, how much it's going to cost. And that is not something that can be done overnight. We need to give them time in order to give you the best job that can be done for you. Because at the end of the day, they are here for you. And for the tenants, I feel as though we hear a lot of things at the board meeting. You know, some things that happened a month ago, 2 months ago, you know. I think people are not giving the staff a chance to do their job. You have to go to the right people when there's an issue. You just can't tell somebody that think that they're gonna tell somebody who's gonna tell somebody else, because nothing is gonna get done. Because if you said it to them in passing, maybe they forgot because something else was on their mind. People are in positions to do their job, and we have to allow them to do their jobs. So we just can't keep jumping the gun and jumping down people's throat because something didn't happen overnight. We all know that things don't happen overnight. So we have to give people an opportunity. You know, so I am asking you to give the staff and the executive director at least 5 days before they can make a decision and to give you the proper answer that you need, regardless of whatever the situation is. And in 2024, I think that we can do better if we all work together.
Yes.
And stop jumping to conclusions about how somebody feels, because every day, all of us feel some type of way. All of us is going through something. So if you're sitting there thinking that you're not going through something, you're only lying to yourself. So we need to work together. I think we're gonna have an amazing year. And I'm proud of all of y'all. You know, and for Ms. Marshall, you come to every board meeting. So the point is when you talk to your tenants, they also need to start coming to the board meeting, so they can see the other side and not be angry at the executive director or the staff, because everybody is working hard to do what they need to do. And there's always 2 sides to a story.
Sometimes 30.
And that's right. You know, that is true. So with that, you know, again, I thank you all, and I'm looking for a fabulous year that we all gonna get things done. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. And at this time, I need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Do I get a second?
Second.
All right, thank you so much and happy holidays to everyone.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays, everyone.
I know, I'm not gonna put that line.
Yeah, they have for the different properties. No, I want to show you. No, it's not, that's not, it's in operation. How you doing? How you feeling?
Thank you.
Good. Hey. Yeah, you had the surgery. Okay, but you look good though. Yeah. Okay, so as long as I see the twice, like just say pursue the 3 different properties that was pertaining to. It's just you have tenant income, just do the categories. Rent, if there's no rent income from that property, whatever it is, sum it just one line, and then just like here, you still have the roads, so you have to break it all down into these little things. Yes, and I don't change the one that does different properties. Yeah.
I got you.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you again.
No problem, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Come down. Thanks for making it. You said you had surgery, sir.
Right, so that's what I was saying,
Yeah.
the vice president.
Did y'all have your elections? Did you have your election?
And then
Okay, so who's the election? Okay.
like everybody was just moved up and then.
Wrong.
Oh, you don't remember? I just probably less.
What y'all talking about?
Okay.
And I got your.
I'm not going because they do seniors for ID.
Now, she said she got a notice on her door.
Oh, yeah, she did, 'cause she got fine.
I'm gonna go ahead and move it on. It's like,
Hey.
yeah, oh, the English, and they okay.
That's my friend. My name.
I know that storage.
Yeah, I got another.
So I thought maybe we need to do something. Just in case, seniors don't have IDs here.
You may hear as far as I
2017. And even people with regular ID.
That's what she said, that's what she wanted.
Yeah. Okay.
And y'all have dust. Oh, I'm sure she takes to the play. Okay.
I was with you if you are not gonna.
I mean,
Peaceful and joyous, whatever it is.
you just give her the chance to clean up. Right now. Oh, but she's giving us the impression that you guys really need
Yes.
All right.
Well,
Well, we can't say that. It's okay. 'Cause she.
All
right.
Okay, let's go on.
She said what she said. I really didn't want to hear anything, and I understand that's true. No. If it was like what I heard, I just said, excuse me, Victoria, I'm gonna have, I don't wanna bring.
I'm gonna let her keep calling me Victoria.
What do they call you?
It's Virginia or Jenny, but Virginia.
But your name is Victoria, right?
No, Virginia.
Oh, Virginia! Why the hell do I keep calling you Victoria? You should have called me. Okay, so, Virginia has been working with her, okay? So, I'm talking about the plumbing thing.
Oh,
Right,
So the situation with her is, when we were passing out flyers, I met her last year. In the midst of me and you guys were passing out flyers with the, housing. And when I met her, her face was all slashed up with stitches or whatever. So this is how I came, then we had to move from her place when we were talking,
No,